Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the TNA Legends Ringside Collectibles exclusive Glow Paint Jeff Hardy. Out of all the Jeff Hardy figures that have ever been released, this is my favourite. I don't know why, to me, it's the definitive Jeff Hardy. Yes, it's from TNA, but it looks similar to when he was in WWE. The face sculpt looks fantastic. It's got a cool gimmick that you can use whether the actual figure glows in the dark or not. So I'm very excited to get this guy opened up. He does come in some really cool exclusive style packaging where you see obviously Jeff Hardy written on the sides. It's got the Hardy logo on the box, which is very nice to see. It does glow in the dark, but as you'll see in a second, it does a very, very poor job. And as you can see, it is very hard to see if it glows in the dark or not. You can see a bit of the movement there from the actual packaging, but the sides really don't light up all that much at all, which is quite a shame if I'm honest. Yeah, so a bit of a spew that it doesn't actually light up. It does a little bit if it is super dark. You do get some faint lighting on the actual figure itself. The sides of the packaging don't come off on camera all that well, but it does light up quite a bit over there. Taking a look at the back of the packaging, nice shot on the back of I guess Jeff Hardy glowing in the dark, and then normally. Very, very sad that it doesn't actually glow as bright as what I would have liked, but still some stats on the back there. Jeff Hardy, obviously he's actually quite tall at 6'2", 215 pounds. North Carolina, and the Swanton Bomb, obviously the Twist of Fate as well. So very excited to get this guy opened up and hopefully give you a cool review. Okay, and here we have Jeff Hardy out of the packaging, and he is fantastic. Cannot recommend this guy highly enough, especially for a Jakks figure, which are notorious for having several issues. This guy is fantastic. They're actually one of my favourite figures of all time. I'll bring it forward so you guys can take a look at the face. I think they absolutely nailed the face scan there. Jakks have always done a good job, whether it be WWE, UFC, or TNA figures. They're very, very good at nailing the face sculpt on this guy. Why I love this one too is that I'll bring in the Twist of Hate Jeff Hardy exclusive. You can see that I think this one definitely looks a lot more like Jeff Hardy than this guy. So very, very happy on the face sculpt. Also, I love the hair. It's just very, very, very Jeff Hardy, and the long hair as opposed to the short as well. One thing that I think is interesting is that on this Twist of Hate figure, he's got the I guess more of the tattoos that he has in real life, whereas on this guy he doesn't have any of that stuff, but still very, very cool indeed. There's also lots of nice detail on this guy. I'll move it down so you can see obviously the tattoo on his arm there. I love that it comes with the like the towel, although it seems ridiculously long. I think if it was that long, I would have been happy. I'm not sure why it's excessively long, but still really cool. It is actually stuck to the shirt so you don't lose it, which is a really, really cool idea. He does come with the standard TNA Deluxe articulation, and what that basically means is you have a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed arms, swivel in the bicep, bend at the elbow, ball-jointed wrists. He's got the ab crunch, which is pretty cool. I think that's actually the UFC style body. And there we've got confirmation that the body is pretty much identical to the UFC figures, and actually really good scale as well. So for those of you out there who want to mix your TNA figures with your UFC, absolutely you can. So that means he does obviously have the ab crunch, swivel waist. He's got a it's not a cloth shirt, but it's I don't know, it is, but it's a much higher quality than say this guy over here. He does have obviously ball jointed legs, swivel in the I guess it's the thigh, just above, double bend at the knee, and then very little movement in the feet, just I think because it's restricted by the pants. So solid range of articulation and movement on this guy, and a great amount of detail. Just for comparison, you can see obviously there is quite a large difference between the Mattel unreleased Jeff Hardy and the glow-in-the-dark TNA Jeff Hardy. Obviously, height is quite a big issue. This guy probably would fit in with some of the other larger Mattel figures, but certainly you can see, obviously, one of the big flaws with Jakks is that they always had the scaling quite wrong. So that's pretty evident here. And pretty much the same with this guy, same height. But if I had to pick one, absolutely the glow-in-the-dark Jeff Hardy. And just one last comparison, obviously you can see the TNA Basic Legend Series figures with Kurt Angle here compared to the Mattel. They actually fit quite nicely. But then as you get to the TNA Deluxe figures, obviously you can see they're quite a bit bigger. The Samoa Joe's actually scaled quite well compared to the Deluxe Jeff Hardy, which is good to see. But yeah, probably going to have to keep these guys separate from your Mattel or Jakks WWE figures. Otherwise it just looks too out of place. But absolutely, I'm a huge fan of this Jeff Hardy figure. If you get a chance, either one of these guys is really good to get. This is probably an earlier Jeff Hardy just because of the absence of a lot of the tattoos and things like that that are on this guy. Actually, some nice detail on this Jeff Hardy. Actually, just checking out the other TNA Jeff Hardy, this guy doesn't have any of the more modern tattoos, so it probably is an earlier Jeff Hardy, as you can see, obviously. I'm not a big fan, actually, how they've detailed the arm tattoos or the neck ones on Jeff Hardy. If you compare it to the Mattel, I think the Mattel is a little bit nicer. But then again, you probably get a better view of the tattoos just because they're larger on the Jeff Hardy TNA Deluxe figure. So very interesting there. I still, out of all the Jeff Hardy figures, would take the glow-in-the-dark one. I think that is, I'm going to say it's the definitive Jeff Hardy figure. And if you get a chance, he's very hard to find. You can probably pick him up online, but this guy is a must-have.